progress, development, and rising urban affluence in most parts of the world, such scenes are common sights in most big cities anywhere. Thousands of vehicles, traffic jams, smoke, smog, and pollution often take its toll on the hapless patients in need of urgent medical attention. And with all this fascination with metal choking the roads all around, and our lives as well, it often becomes a matter of life and death for the critical patients inside an ambulance, more so if he or she is a heart patient. With changing lifestyles, sadly, the heart ailments are on the rise globally, more so in the developing world. Research into the subject has established some alarming trends that by 2050, the majority of the heart patients would be in India. A grim and worrisome situation indeed. But thanks to the foresightedness of a young and dedicated doctor who laid the foundation of heart care in India, and that too a little more than 5 decades back. In fact, it was more of coming together of stalwarts from different fields, namely medicine, industry, the politics, and a few ordinary people, all for a common objective, that is, laying the foundation for research in the field of cardiology in India, a subject in medicine that was hitherto unknown. And on the 5th of May 1962, the All India Heart Foundation was born. And what better a place than the heart of the city, that is Daryaganj, to have an office for the All India Heart Foundation. It started functioning from a modest office in this building. And the credit largely for the giant step forward goes to none other than the first woman cardiologist of India, Dr. S. Padmavati. She was greatly influenced by her guru, the famous American doctor Paul D. White, who sought to transform the way the medical science catered to the common man.
And the primary idea was to make people aware of heart health. And she was publishing material, printing material to be given out as handouts, etc. She was holding meetings and lecturing, popular lecture kind of a thing in the general population, the public. So at that time, and this was the very first in Delhi, let me tell you. It has been there, it's progressing, it has been doing good work, and I don't think that there is any other organization in Delhi or around, and very decidedly, at least in North India, I haven't heard. So my field too is cardiology.
With Dr. Padmavati as its president, its vice president was the famous industrialist Mr. Lakshmipad Singhania. The other notable people who were associated with the formation of AIHF were Dr. K.K. Date, Dr. J.C. Banerjee, Dr. M.S. Chadha, Dr. C.G. Pandit, Dr. V.K.R.V. Rao, and Dr. Ratnavelu Subramaniam, while Sri V.V. Giri, Dr. Zakir Hussain, and Fakhruddin Ali Ahmad were its patrons. In the early days of cardiac surgery, patients used to go to the USA, UK, and Europe for the procedures from all developing countries. After 1970 or so, centers were established of cardiac treatment, medical and surgical in India, Thailand and Singapore. Most patients preferred surgery near home. In India, one of the first centers of cardiac surgery was Delhi. Ms. Satyavati, a patient of patent ductus arteriosus, was operated upon in 1957 by Dr. Pepo, surgeon to the President of Yugoslavia. This was the first case of congenital heart disease to be operated in northern India. Other types of surgery in Delhi were constrictive pericarditis, 1960, total correction of TOF, 1973. Vellore and Bombay also had many cases from South and West India. The foundation actively started pursuing its goal of augmenting the scientific research and control of the heart diseases in the field of cardiology.
All India Heart Foundation was started basically for studying the risk factors for heart ailments as applicable to India. Number two, to devise and suggest methodologies and treatment options for preventing as well as for treating these ailments. And thirdly, for advising the government on various programs like the school health program. Incidentally, the 3-week penicillin injection protocol was at the suggestion of the All India Heart Foundation, and the government accepted it for the school health programs. So the advisory role of All India Heart Foundation was also very important.
In the year 1971, the first ICCU in North India was opened in the G.B. Pant Hospital with assistance from the foundation. In 1973, the AIHF also presented the first coronary care ambulance to the Pant Hospital. The first cardiac catheterization in North India was done at the Lady Hardinge Medical College in 1954 by Dr. Padmavati. AIHF also jointly hosted many conferences at the international level. Notable among them are the World Congress of Cardiology in 1966, the American College of Cardiology circuit courses in 1965 and 1973, as well as the Indo-US Workshop on Rheumatic Heart Disease in 1981. Since its inception, research has been the topmost priority of the AIHF, and major areas of research include RF-RHT, chronic core pulmonale, hypertension, epidemiology of heart diseases, etc. The works have been published in the reputed journals in India and abroad.
But half of the things, if you see, is definitely there. About exercise, how to take care of your blood pressure, how to take care of weight, what is the level of alcohol which is safe, and many a question which one may not be able to ask in public or even to their practitioner. Answers to those questions in form of frequently asked question is loaded in that American Heart Association site.
Another major area has been the public health education. Since 1963, AIHF has been publishing its bulletin Heart News. This monthly bulletin carries informative articles on various health topics in simple language. Another book titled Heart Disease and the Layman, written for the general public, has been immensely popular and is translated into 7 Indian languages. Foundation has used radio, newspaper, talks and films also to disseminate information for educating the masses.
Simple things to know is if your heart rate is good in the range of about 60s and does not increase too much when exercising, that's a good index to show that your heart is sound.
To spread awareness about the diseases of the heart and their prevention, heart camps are organized regularly. Such camps are organized at public places, in far-off places with little or no medical facilities, and in schools. World Heart Day on 29th of September is observed with elaborate arrangements to create awareness amongst the school children and the general public.
आपका वजन 130 या इससे कम होना चाहिए और डायबिटिक्स में ये वजन ब्लड प्रेशर और कम होना चाहिए.
Apart from this, the World No Tobacco Day on the 31st of May and Diabetes Day on the 4th of November are also observed with camps for free checkups and advice.
Reena, do you face any problem in managing waste?
In addition to these activities, the foundation is also involved in capacity building. In this regard, training for the doctors and nurses is an integral and ongoing feature of AIHF.
Body fluid stain, all those linen will be separately packed in a yellow bag and disposed of in a separate bag, okay?
The training program that is being continued here is DNB Super Specialty Program. I am working in the specialty of cardiology. It's a 3-year training program. It's run by the Diplomat of National Board and it is done after post-graduation, and I've completed my MD Internal Medicine in 2010 and following that I have joined this course.
सबसे पहले मैं आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि आपकी responsibilities क्या होती हैं drugs को administer करने की?
Regular short-term courses in dietetics, nutrition and echocardiography are being run successfully in addition to a diploma in preventive cardiology.
तो basic अब हमारा जो session है आज का some simple drug calculations.
NBE, that is National Board of Exams, has recognized the AIHF for training of candidates in cardiology and cardiac surgery. 30 candidates have been trained so far. It is a matter of privilege that the Government of India recognizes AIHF as a scientific research organization and consults it for their 5-year plans. For CGHS and ECHS too, the Government of India has entrusted the foundation. The World Health Organization also recognizes it as a collaborating research center in preventive cardiology for over 30 years. Free pacemakers and heart valves have also been provided to over 250 patients with the help from Heartbeat International USA, which started in 1988. This is now known as Delhi Pacemaker Center, chaired by a lawyer.
This will show it, see, connect karte hue nazar aa jayega aapko. These wires are going to the heart.
Years of hard work, dedication and passion in the field of cardiology ultimately led to even greater a foundation, the National Heart Institute. In 1981, Mrs. Indira Gandhi inaugurated this first super speciality hospital. From a modest 20-bed hospital then, it has now grown into one of the most preferred heart care hospital, having over 100 beds.
National Heart Institute was started as the clinical delivery as well as the research wing of the All India Heart Foundation, because not always you can prevent ailments, and once they set in, they need to be set right and treated. And what you see today is a culmination of that effort of Dr. Padmavati.
And it has, since then, introduced intensive coronary care, cardiac surgery, rehabilitation and prevention. Special services in the form of non-invasive cardiology procedures and specialists in other areas such as pulmonologists, neurologists and neurophysiologists are also provided for consultation. For more than 3 decades now, it has been serving people not only from India, but several other countries too. And as such, the National Heart Institute has received NABH accreditation too.
What is more important that I learned over these 3 decades, that her interest is not only the research or managing a hospital, but hospital which is a socially acceptable. She has never thought of making any profit.
She always encouraged all of us that our hospital, means National Heart Institute, should be public centric, should be people centric.
कोई पैनिक की बात नहीं, प्लेटलेट अकेला डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर नहीं है सीवियरिटी ऑफ द डिजीज को पता लगाने के लिए.
Dr. A.S. Dave, a well-known cardiologist, has a very long association with the All India Heart Foundation. He sums up the role that the foundation has played in promoting heart healthcare.
As far as Dr. Padmavati's effort is concerned in treating and prevention of heart disease, she has done a remarkable job, let me tell you. But this has to go on. Others also have to actively participate. Unless we do that, it is not possible. The heart disease definitely in the increase. In spite of our education, we all know that we should be active, we should be walking every day, we should keep our weight under control, we should take care of our blood sugar levels, we should monitor our blood pressure, but still we do not do that. And the best treatment, as I said, is in the prevention.
The hearts of Indian people have always been strong. Yet for the spirit to live on, one must ensure that the heart be at its best. Hypothetically speaking, one cannot just ignore matters concerning the heart. But with pioneers who have worked to build up institutions and foundations like AIHF and NHI, one can safely assume that we are in safe hands.